Hi, we're Wes and Diane Dick from Claresholm, Alberta. We pastor the Pentecostal church in that town, and we like to share, again, of God's incredible goodness and His faithfulness to us when we believe His Word and speak His Word. We were told early in our marriage that Diane would likely never get pregnant because of some complications. We won't go into all of that. But by God's grace, she did. Then 6.5 months into the pregnancy, when Ray was born, there was some major difficulties. He was premature. At 5 days old, they rushed him from Brandon, Manitoba, where we were at the time, to the Children's Hospital in Winnipeg, and he quit breathing as they arrived at the hospital. The doctors did all they could. There was a large number of them. They did an exchange transfusion. They did all the tests. And the next morning when they came to talk to us, they told us that they did not give him even a 50-50 chance of living. And if he did, they were 99% sure he'd be both mentally and physically handicapped because of the severe brain damage from the jaundice, from the bile that was built up in his blood. Told us to go home and forget we'd ever had a child. At that point, I have to admit, I got angry at God. I felt He'd teased us by having let Diane get pregnant and then was going to take this child away. It took a few days to get over that and then realize that that was not the kind of Heavenly Father we really had. And Diane and I together on a Thursday night, as we spent our time in the Word and in prayer, said, Father, thank you for the months that we had anticipating a child that we thought we would never had. It was incredible. Thank you for that. And if you let him live and he's handicapped, you're just going to have to give us the strength, and we believe that you will. If he dies, we're going to praise you and thank you for the opportunities we've had, the privilege of anticipating. But we just want to submit ourselves to whatever you want for us and Ray, which is our son's name. The nurses phoned us the next morning all excited. And they said Ray started breathing on his own because he hadn't been breathing. He had no reflexes, no response to pain. His recovery was absolutely remarkable. In the beginning of May, when we brought him home from Winnipeg, we had to take him back to the hospital in Brandon for a few days because he wasn't heavy enough to come home yet. He wasn't quite 5 pounds. A nurse in the hospital when we brought him in looked at us and said, I don't believe it. I can't believe it. She rode the ambulance to Winnipeg, and from what she saw, from her experience, she did not think that baby was going to live very long at all. Well, this child that the doctors said would be both physically and mentally handicapped, as he grew up, the doctors continued to be amazed. By the time he got to be a teenager, he grew enough that by the time he was 13, he was over 6 feet tall. And the volleyball and basketball coaches were fighting over whose team he was going to be on. And as far as his mental capabilities, graduated his grade 12 we're on Atikokan, Ontario at the time, with an average of 85. And we just give God glory for His faithfulness. Amen. As we are learning to trust His Word. I'm so thankful it's not about our faithfulness, but it's our faith in a God who is faithful. Amen. And we just thank Him that He is faithful to His Word, which says, I am the God that healeth thee.